Welcome to the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name is Ian McNaughton, Big E. Thank you for joining us. We got a loaded podcast ahead with two very special guests. First, SYP creator Ravisher. Rav, what jersey is that you're wearing?
Don't. It's a Vancouver Canucks jersey.
I was going to say the audio listeners can't hear this, but you were in a pretty nice Besser Canucks jersey. Respect you for wearing that.
Yeah, thank you. I was either that or the Pettersson one, or I was gonna wear the Rangers one in honor of the Barclay Goodrow signing. So I just have that one sitting up there.
That would have been funny if you actually wore a Ranger. If you actually wore the Rangers one, that'd be funny. Speaking of funny, Callum MacDonald is also joining us, friend of SYP and the podcast. Callum, what's happening? What did you do this weekend? Did you do anything eventful this weekend?
I was on my phone. I saw the Canucks made a trade, and then I just laid in bed for about 6 hours. I'm wanting to cry.
Interesting. We'll get into that later on. First, again, as we record this, it's Sunday night, July 25th. Margaret McNeil, Canadian gold medalist in the 100-meter butterfly. Congratulations to Margaret. Incredible performance. Again, 14-year-old just missed out on a medal. I feel like I should find her name, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I just saw that a 14-year-old just missed out on a medal for Canada. So, yeah.
14 and competing at the Olympics for Canada. That's kind of ridiculous. Her name's Summer McIntosh.
Oh, okay. There you go. Summer McIntosh. Kudos to Summer. She'll probably win a gold down the line.
Oh, yeah. You think?
You would think so.
She'll be 18 at next Olympics.
Yeah, there you go. That's like peak performance, isn't it?
prime.
It's like 18 to your like 20s. That's like peak.
I think it's 16 to 20.
There you go.
For swimming.
Callum, do you have I mean, this actually could go to both of you guys, but do you have a favorite Olympic sport? We kind of, Scott and I did an Olympics preview last week where we previewed every sport in 2 minutes or less. But do you guys actually have a favorite sport that you enjoy watching the most?
I mean, if we're talking winter, obviously I gotta go with the
curling.
I honestly do love curling, which is weird. But hockey, I mean, that's just a no-brainer. But if we're talking summer, I do love watching some like 4x100 freestyle relays. And I just love seeing Michael Phelps dominate.
Okay, Rav, do you have a favorite summer sport? Or
I'll throw for winter. I'll throw in like luge or something, right? Like something like that. Something you don't see all the time. Summer. I have it's not a hot take. It's just like, imagine if they had American football in the Summer Olympics just for the fucking shits, and every country's trying to gather a team, like no one knows the rules, and it's just like a free gold medal for America, but they just want to see like what would happen if you just got like American football.
USA versus the world.
Well, no, someone. This is kind of like along the lines of my 3-on-3, because 3-on-3 basketball is now an Olympic sport, right? And I said they missed out on a great, 3-on-3 basketball is now an Olympic sport. And I said they missed out. They missed on a great opportunity because they should have LeBron playing in 3-on-3 basketball so he can dunk on unsuspecting Croatians. Because that's really the best part of the Olympic basketball experience. It's just guys who are doing this as a hobby and they actually have real jobs who have to go up against pro basketball players.
Yeah, like France versus the United States, except France won.
Well, as I saw earlier today on the internet, not the first time Rudy Gobert has shut down the U.S. So there's that.
Evan Fournier.
He
scored more points than like Durant.
Again, dude.
Good.
It's just not. When you're like Luka. Yeah, you got to remember what Luka said, dude. When you're playing for your country, you care. It's different. You don't even get paid for it. But when you play for your country, it's a whole different thing.
Going back to what you said about basketball, though, I think it would be awesome if just, again, some poor Danish fellow had to guard DK Metcalf and just like do that for 60 minutes a game. And I think that would be awesome entertainment.
Imagine if Mongolia had like a American football team.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just like no one's probably okay. Like for like any like Asian country, like imagine India, dude. Imagine like we have like 150-pound linemen, dude. That'd be just brutal.
Well, and then to kind of balance it out, like say like cricket is gonna come to the Olympics, and then Americans have to play cricket, and then they just get absolutely bodied by
cricket. But the thing is, like cricket is so much more popular.
Cricket is like,
American
yeah.
football.
The thing is,
I
like,
know.
you can. It's not really comparable for that because like most sports are played outside. Like this is the American football is like an anomaly where it's not played outside of America, really.
Yeah, pretty
Right?
much. Like, yeah.
It's only here, Canada. That's about it. That they even like have teams for it.
Well, even Canadian football isn't even American football.
Yeah, it's like a whole. It's like it's not a different sport, but gosh, there's different
rules. It stinks. I still might go to a Lion. I'm contemplating going to a Lions game.
I think yeah.
Anyways, let's move on. So we're gonna talk a lot of. This is gonna be a heavy hockey podcast because a lot has happened in hockey over the last week. I feel like we should start with Logan Mailloux getting drafted 31st overall by the Montreal Canadiens. Which
right when I was like losing it there like 10 seconds ago, I just saw a thing where like 2 days ago Logan Mailloux was taking live questions from reporters, and I didn't even know that.
So for those who don't know, Logan Mailloux, to put it lightly, in a little trouble because he was soliciting. Well, he was showing pictures of himself having sexual relations with a girl who did not consent to these pictures and did not consent to him sharing these pictures to his teammates in Sweden over this past year. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday he renounced himself from the draft where he said, "Don't take me. Like, actually, nobody, please, no one take me. I am not ready. This is not my thing. Don't draft me." And Mark Bergevin said, "That sounds like a player for us. He represents the Montreal Canadiens." And not only drafted him when he was asked not to be drafted him in the first round.
Yeah. I think Bergevin's thought process was like, they're going to take him in the second round, so let's take him now, which like, I don't know what he thought was going to happen. I don't know, like, where people are like, oh, this guy's going to, man. And I know they're not going to do the Mitchell Miller thing because they're not going to renounce it because they're fucking Montreal. They're some scums, dude. They're not going to do that. They're going to keep them. What did they say in their, let me pull that up.
If you want to read the statement that they released.
I just remember saying, like, we will provide this man with all the things he needs to mature. I'm like, dude, like, you don't, a guy like that, he said he'll mature himself. Like, this guy could be the most, what do you call it? Remorseful guy ever, which, first of all, I don't think he is, because he said, like, multiple times, like, he's just like victim blaming the whole situation. Oh, dude, it's even if this guy is the most like remorseful guy ever, like, it still doesn't change the fact that he said, "Don't draft me. I need time to, work on myself." I feel
like he did like a bunch of bad things. The one good thing he did is telling teams not to draft him, and then boom, Montreal 31st pick.
If you have to, for your first round pick, say, you don't even announce the guy, you just say statement on him, and then, oh man, here it is. Oh, that's in French. We are making a commitment to accompany Logan on his journey. They're talking about as if he's coming back for like an injury, bro. Dude. Oh, fuck this team. Oh.
So
like it was Canada's team up until the draft.
Yeah, I was Canada's team for like a month, dude. Anyone who's a fan of any other team hates Montreal, dude. Like, you like watching their fans be like, you like watching their fans and stuff because they're like really into it, and like if they're playing like Montreal Boston, you cheer for Montreal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's just like you don't like them. No one really likes Montreal outside of Montreal. I'm talking about the team, not the city, but like no one really likes Montreal. You don't want to, you never want to support them unless it's Boston or a team you hate or something, right?
So my thoughts on it were along those lines of how the Montreal Canadiens, well, Mark Bergevin first, the Montreal Canadiens and the NHL, for the most part, over the last, let's say, month, and I know the Chicago Blackhawks scandal is another story, and the NHL has not done a whole lot of good stuff there, but for the most part, Bergevin, the Habs, and the NHL have been building up some pretty goodwill over like the last month with the finals and Montreal going on a big run here. The NHL just had the expansion draft this past week, which I thought was a fun event as well. And that was all flushed down the toilet on Friday night when they made that pick with Logan Mailloux. And the worst part is obviously the individual involved who is now being brought up, and now her life is impacted by this as well, because now everybody's talking about, what was the situation like, or what was it, what all actually happened, as if we haven't actually seen a release from Logan. We have a police, report in Sweden, because everybody likes the victim blame, which is just fucking stupid.
Yeah, he said like multiple times, like this person's trying to ruin my career and stuff. Like I've apologized multiple times. The victim said she didn't get all she wanted was a heartfelt apology. She got a 3-sentence or less apology is what we got from her.
It's pathetic.
For like, even if it's multiple times, like it doesn't matter. You can't be you're not sincere enough. He can't do the bare minimum in that situation, which is brutal. That just shows like he has no remorse. Yeah. And again, I guess like even if this guy like feels remorseful in any way, like he still needs his own time to take and like change himself. You don't you don't give the guy a first round pick into the NHL because he like
nobody has learned anything from this. Like this situation, what happened on Friday night does not help anybody. Like it doesn't help Montreal. As good as the player is, this doesn't help Montreal. It doesn't help the Habs. It doesn't help Mailloux that he asked not to be drafted and was still drafted. So now he has to go through that fucking bullshit of just like dealing with, not trying to say that he should get any sympathy. That's not what I'm trying to say. But now he has to go and,
I guess,
they're expecting him. He shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be there. And now he's got expectations on himself that he shouldn't have, that he has no business having expectations on himself. And as a first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody fucking hates Montreal and Marc Bergevin
more than they did before. Like no reason we even like Bergevin. Like anyone even like Bergevin because his moves, like people were calling him stupid, and it worked because they got to the finals.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this isn't his first thing with it. Like the whole Chicago thing where he didn't know. We don't know if he didn't know, but he said he didn't know about anything, which,
right.
Like the whole sexual assault scandal back in 2010 when he was a director of hockey operations, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, like the Tony DeAngelo thing, which wasn't as bad. That's just him being very bad at defense and just promoting conspiracy theories. The Trump thing doesn't matter. You can support whoever, I think, but like promoting conspiracy theories and then fighting your own goalie, like
that's a tough luck.
One of the rules of hockey, you don't blame the goalie, okay? And then especially if you really suck at fucking defending, like
Tony DeAngelo does.
Yeah, because you saw Aho fucking throw his jockstrap right into the air in the bubble last year, okay? And the Voinov thing, like it's not the first time they were interested in Voinov, like when he was trying to get back in the league after his old debacle back in LA with the domestic violence.
He was getting sent home to Slovenia,
Russia, I think.
Oh, Russia.
Yeah, he's Russian, but
sorry,
the Habs were the team that were interested in him, and bet you, hey, give it a week, Jake Virtanen goes to the Habs probably at this point, dude.
Well, I don't know if you heard about how Jake Virtanen was bought out, but only because of his hockey skill, I think, according to Ian McIntyre.
Yep.
None of his legal issues. Just I'm gonna see if I can pull that up.
We were this close to getting fucking Danton Heinen for him, dude. This close. We could have got Danton Heinen, dude. Even he's not that good, but it's Danton Heinen, and he can do something. This guy had 5 points.
So now we're going on to Jake Virtanen because we got a bunch of Canucks guys on the pod. But
okay, I went to the Canucks Reddit page, or not the Canucks Reddit, the hockey Reddit page. Top comment says, finally, the dumbest hockey player I've ever watched on the Canucks is gone.
No, well, here's the thing. What you don't understand is that it's, quote, not the legal issues that are ending Jake Virtanen's time with the Canucks. It's hockey issues. went backwards as a player, needs a chance somewhere else, said Ian McIntyre of Sportsnet. And I'm sorry, but that's not right. That's false. That is wrong. That is wrong.
Even if there's, I guess the only thing I could see is like that whole case is pending, like it hasn't, but like, like oh my God, that's a stupid way to. That's an absolutely brutal way to word that. I can't believe they should have just blamed it like on there's a multitude of issues. We didn't need it. We don't think he should be part of the franchise. Like that, just that alone would have been much better.
Honestly,
like he did not. They did. It's brutal. I didn't even know that. That's actually brutal.
So
so bad.
So altogether, to try and wrap a bow on all of this bullshit that we've seen, be smarter. Do your research. Like, don't give people second chances who don't deserve second chances. There's no reason to be drafting Logan Mailloux. There's no reason to give Jake Virtanen a second chance.
He passed on Ehlers. Good on Ehlers, not him.
Do we also pass on like Nylander and
yes?
Berg, was it?
I remember. What's the scouting report from 2014? I just remember. I think it was
skating
in 2014. Let me pull this up. He was compared to. So what's this guy? The Canucks Army, June 2014. Jake Virtanen, very close comparable is Kyle Beach.
Oh Ehlers yes, there we go. That's a name I recognize. That's a because first round pick Kyle Beach really worked out well in the NHL as well.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
And that was in 2014. That was in like 2 years ago or something. That was June 18th. That was a week before he's getting drafted.
Hell yeah.
And and what else did he say? He said Ehlers has a higher ceiling, higher floor, less chance of busting, and most likely a far better career. And arguably that guy is the best winger on a Canadian team right now. Like it's
He's
brutal.
So good. He's
so good at hockey. That guy is sick. But yeah, I'm happy those guys, or at least Jake's off a team. I think it's Russia for him or Montreal.
Hot take.
Yeah. That seems to be where all the players with
okay
with character issues and
Subban character issues.
Yeah, like. Even though, Subban just happens to be black, he's
donating millions of dollars to fucking kids in Montreal, but the character issues of, I guess, being the best defenseman in the league at one point is what a fucking brain dead piece of shit.
So speaking of character issues, I hope Bergevin gets fired or he moves on. He's gonna.
I think
move upstairs. He's probably gonna get a promotion after drafting Mailloux.
What's the chance? What's the chances Mayu D'Angelo third pairing and they keep Romanov on the bench?
That sounds about right for this fucking team. That sounds about right.
You keep Romanov on the bench. Yeah. Gustafsson scored as many goals as Romanov did, and Romanov played 3 games.
Romanov played good in that. Like, I don't know why they didn't play him more, but whatever.
Played all season, and then they don't play him. I guess it worked. And like Gus can run the power play, bro. But like at the end of the day, like it should not be Gustafsson, Merrill, Kulak, Romanov was much better, and they played much better defensively, especially in the Vegas series where Romanov like right off the bat laid out Pietrangelo. He got the game.
Such a nice hit.
They lost that game, but there was energy they had in that game. The goals that Vegas scored were just good positioning on their part. To be fair, they were savable. They were luckier.
So just again. Going back to what we were just, any final thoughts on Mailloux, the Habs, the Blackhawks pulling the really cool PR stunt at the very end?
Yeah, that was nice too. That was perfect. Blackhawks right after that too. Oh yes, dude. Fuck them too.
Any final? I listen. Fuck the Habs. Fuck the Blackhawks.
Patty Kane's good though.
Patty Kane good.
Is he?
That one.
Is Patrick Kane good?
Yeah. Also, the league, I think, deserves some credit or some blame for all this that's gone on because Gary Bettman is just like, they're allowed to draft whoever they want. It's like, no, I get that, But like
You should. I think that the
like-
league should allow you to renounce your rights. I think after this, they can't have the stupid. Oh, like you can say it, but like you're not. You really
if
can't.
you're eligible, you can get drafted.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like, fuck
eligible
off.
and you say it already. You can't do it. Just shut up, dude.
Yeah. So that's kind of our thoughts on Montreal.
Yeah. You want to head
Chicago.
off into the transactions, a bunch of the trades.
I just want to talk about the draft first quickly. I don't know a whole lot about the draft.
Expansion or
Entry draft. So basically, we're kind of working backwards here. We're gonna go entry draft, trades,
good.
expansion draft. My Red Wings got 2 first-round picks. They took Simon Edvinsson, Sebastian Cossa.
Dude, those are weird picks. Those are really weird picks.
Edvinsson is I think he's a weird. I think he could be a wild card where like he can be a really good shutdown guy.
Mhm.
Or you see him like, you know, I don't think he'll be disappointing. I think he's like a lesser Owen Power, like as his floor. Whereas like he'll be a shutdown guy on a top 6. Like he can be a top 6 player, like regardless. I just don't know if he can take it to the next step where he can be the top 2 or top 4 guy.
Yeah, I think
because his draft rankings were like it went from like 3rd to like 15th. It was all over the place this year because
I thought the Canucks were going to take him. Mind you,
yeah, when we had the pick,
We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that. But I mean, I the other team. So I thought I like the Owen Power pick number 1, even though I know there's some people who like Bill Hardos who were saying he's like a 3rd or 4th overall.
Yeah, but like you got to remember, I think that he is probably the best player right now in the draft. You could say. But,
probably. I also like the Matty Beniers pick with Seattle.
Beniers is also really like
Beniers is a good pick for Seattle. I think he's going to be there for a long time, and I think he's going to be like he could literally play next year.
Yeah,
I could totally see that happening.
Could you imagine if Luke Hughes never got picked by New Jersey? I think
that's the thing. Like, what kind of nepotism is that? Because like I had a lot of people wanting New Jersey to take Eklund because Eklund and Holtz were playing on the same team and they were killing it together, and like the line of Eklund, Hughes, and Holtz would have been absolutely grind.
That would be good, dude. I won't lie.
Well, not that they're good grind, but it would have been good.
Sharks stole him. I don't
that's
blame the
such
other
a good
teams.
pick for Sharks.
I don't blame other teams because like Luke Hughes, you kind of have to. Columbus needs a center. Domi ain't working. Edvinsson, they need a defenseman. Okay, Mark Stoll ain't working.
But the thing is, for Edvinsson, why would you not take Brian Clark?
He had a good season last year with Stetcher, I guess.
Here's the thing. I think it's just another Swedish defenseman.
Hey, Lidstrom worked. So
that the Red Wings would just take another Swedish.
But Brian Clark has such a higher ceiling.
I listen. I don't know fuck all about this draft class. Right? Like,
and then
I honestly I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea. Like, for all we know, trying to think of like Cole Sillinger, who got drafted by Columbus, could be like one of the best centers too. Like, I like Cole Sillinger, I like Johnson.
Pretty good.
The other team I just want to mention quickly. I know Scott's not here, so I should take my time to shit on the Ducks, but I actually didn't mind like the Mason McTavish, Olin Zellweger, Silvertip pick. There's a
Olin Zellweger's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted him for a 2nd round pick.
He's the best 2nd rounder, arguably.
So Scott's not here, so I'm not gonna shit. Like, I should be shitting on the Ducks, but like I can't. That was a good draft for the.
One more thing was Ottawa. They took Tyler Boucher. That was the first wild one. I'd say everyone knew it was gonna be their wild ones coming. But dude, that one was
weird, man. That was fucking weird.
That one is a weird one. I just remember right when like you hear Dylan Gunther and all these guys are getting compared to like, you know, like I think Power was getting compared to Hedman off rip,
Hedman.
Dude. Everybody was getting compared to Hedman. Like two guys, somebody else got compared to Hedman.
Edmonton got compared to.
I think it's just the Swedish, you know, the connection. Yeah, but Boucher was getting compared to Josh Anderson. I'm like, no disrespect to him. That guy is a fucking hard-working guy. That guy is a good hockey player, but you know.
But you don't take Josh Anderson in the first round.
You don't take Josh Anderson first round.
Josh Anderson is a guy you wait for. Like, he's not like the star of the team. He's like the glue guy that you can find.
Yeah. I believe there are much better players in the second round even than Boucher, dude. There are some guys that fell.
Well, I'm surprised Ottawa didn't take Wallstedt. And speaking of that, why did Wallstedt fall so much?
Murray, they do have goalie depth. It's just the fact that I don't know if it's good goalie depth. They have
I don't think it's good goalie depth.
They have lots of goalies. They lost to Court, but they have Gustafson, Hogberg, one more too. It's just and Murray. I don't know about him.
They lost the cord.
I think they lost to Cord, but I feel like they had one more in the system. I completely forgot, but I think it might just be Hogberg and Gustafson. But still, that's 3 right there. I guess if you're waiting for the future, wait till Murray's contract done. He can come up. Like Wallstedt or Kosa could have came up, but that wasn't their plan.
And then like why would Detroit trade up to get the second projected goalie of the draft? Like, and in my mind, I think Wallstedt is a far better goalie than Kosa. I like Kosa, but I've been like, Wallstedt plays like, he created incredible. He played for a fucking men's league team in the SHL. Not men's league. Well,
he put up a 908 or 909, like it
as like an 18-year-old. And Kosa's putting up like the good numbers in the WHL, but like the World Juniors, Wallstedt still in his head. I just thought that he would go. I thought he was going to go top 10.
Yeah, I believe he could have been the highest pick.
That was a steal by the Wild, a steal.
And then also, true to Ken Holland, where it's like, we don't need a fucking goalie. We'll find it. We'll find Mike.
Mike can keep going.
Mike Smith is a great goaltender. We'll keep Mike going.
Mike Smith, 39-year-old, gets a multi-year contract.
That's what an idiot.
Well, we don't need Wallstedt. We got Mike Smith. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
The Edmonton Oilers have no right to complain about their goalie problem.
Maybe the fans do, but the team does not. The fans, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed.
I'd be so mad too.
Any other? I got one of my buddies coming on later on this week to actually do a deep dive into the draft. But any other thoughts on the draft or first round picks that you liked, or maybe something you didn't like either?
Let me see. There's like some guys I really didn't.
I thought Columbus and Nashville were kind of Columbus and Nashville were kind of my 2 teams that I really like, because I like the Sillinger pick. I like the Kent Johnson pick.
Too.
Svechkov for Nashville, and Zachary Leroux, who they were comparing to Marchand, is just the pest he's got attitude problems, who is just a pain in the ass, and can he control his attitude problems? And again, he's somebody, a later first round pick, but still somebody who, if
could have an impact.
And it's just gonna be like, that's the guy that the cliche of like, you rather have on you like playing with instead of playing against, like that.
Yeah, it's like a Burrow type player.
That's why I like Nashville and Columbus, I guess, for the draft. But
yeah, I think Columbus definitely won that first round. Getting Kuhlman's that way too. I think he could have been a guy who went higher.
Yeah,
Kuhlman was a good.
There's a lots of guys that like Rosen,
Kuhlman's and Lambos.
Lambos, I thought was gonna go higher.
Lambos, I don't know. I think those type of defensemen, like the way he plays, have gone like lower and lower in recent years.
Yeah,
I think I don't compare him to Gudbranson, but he plays more like one than he would. I would say like a Dolly or something, right? Like, so like those type of defensemen have been falling slightly, but I think he can be good too. He is a good hockey player. There's some picks like Isaac Rosen. I don't know, Isaac Isaac, 14th by Buffalo. That's another guy who.
Center?
Sorry,
I think he's a center.
No, he's a winger. I'm pretty sure.
He's a wing.
But that's a pick where like Buffalo is just, you're just taking one, like you're just taking one because you got power, you got your guy. So you're just like, what if we can get something else? You get this draft is really gonna show like you're either gonna have. I hope it turns out where it's like a bunch of teams just get fucked by this draft, or you get like 7th round guys just becoming first liners, and like this is gonna be that draft. And I also believe there's gonna be lots of players gonna like getting just pro contracts, pro tryouts and everything, because there's a lot of guys that like could be there because like there's so many guys that just haven't played, like OHL guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah.
There's some good picks though. I think there's a lot of good picks in the draft.
All right. That's draft talk. Again, we'll do another deep dive on the draft later on this week. Let's talk about trades, because holy fucking shit, there were a lot of trades this past week. We'll do some more kind of deep dives on some, but I'll go through some of these.
Let's just go. I think we should go like through all of them, but let's take deeper dives on like the big ones.
Yeah. So Rav, are you on TSN Trade Tracker? Or do you want me to go through?
I was pulling it up right now.
All right, you pull it up on TSN.
I'll start from, I think it was the first one.
Start from the latest, and we'll go all the way down. Like we'll start from the Reinhardt, and then we'll go all the way down.
Yeah, Reinhardt. I'll take it to like a decent point. So Reinhardt for Levi and a first. I think
pretty good
I
for
think
Reinhardt, not gonna lie.
yeah, that's a good. Panthers didn't give up much because Levi. I'm pretty sure he was a really late pick, wasn't he? Like 6th, 7th round.
Something
Yeah,
like
he was.
that.
He the only reason he's like highly rated is because he played really good in the world
Yeah,
meetings.
that's good. That because Panthers don't really need a goalie now. They lost Drieger. I think they still have Montembeau contract, and then they got the two guys. Yeah, they got Knight and Bob. So like they're good for a good while.
And for
realistically, Knight should be their backup goalie next year.
I think Knight should be their starter next year.
I'm guessing Knight will be the starter, and then they'll have to suffer through Bobrovsky's contract until it's like reasonable to like either buy it out or get rid of it somehow.
What I was gonna say, I think Bob starts, and then they'll put in Knight, and they'll realize Knight's better. If it hopefully works out like that because he's a good player.
The other thing I want to mention with this trade is that I like Buffalo's goalie prospects in the future, where they got Levi and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Who's like a 22-year-old who like you can never have too many goalie prospects. Ask Ottawa, like as long as you have goalies in the system, it's kind of like
Toronto got that too because they picked a goalie like in the 6th round from the I'm pretty sure he's the same team that they picked another goalie from the other year. So like I think it's Kazan in the KHL. They picked like the same. I guess they're just like they really like that team's process. So they've just been picking their goalies. I forgot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like quarterbacks in football. Like you want to maybe get a goalie prospect every 2 or 3 years just to keep them in the system and develop it. They might not be anything, but at least you have them, and
at least there's a chance of like landing that Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we go back to draft. I think like Wallstedt Kosa could be like that guy,
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair.
I think both sides. It's a good trade. But he was gone. I think a lot of people said Reinhardt could get more. You got to remember, like he's probably. Is he an RFA at the end of next year?
He's an RFA right now. Reinhardt's an RFA right now. But the other thing that's interesting is that Devin Levi doesn't have a contract right now either. Buffalo took Levi, Florida took Levi, but they don't actually have him signed. I think
does he have another year of rights?
Yeah, they gave it. So they traded. They each traded each other's rights.
Yeah. I think getting a first for him is good. You got to remember, I know people say like if you're not gonna get enough for the guy like for his value, you shouldn't trade him, but in some cases where it's like an obvious, like, it's not going to work out, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Voracek, Atkinson, 1-for-1 swap, Flyers and Jackets.
I thought that was a weird deal for the Flyers. I thought
that was weird.
But I don't know. I think Columbus got the best player in the deal. I think Columbus, you can put him on a line. I don't know if you're going to have Domi. Like, do a line A Roslovic, Voracek line, I think, and you can just set it and forget it, I think, if you're the Blue Jackets. I think it makes sense for them. It's less term, but more money. I like it.
I think, I think Blue Jackets got a better player, but also the worst contract.
Yeah. I still think Voracek got some in him though. That guy's always just
he's got one or two.
He's
years.
a good playmaker, man. That guy is a good player.
He's gonna be pretty motivated, I think, after being traded from Philadelphia and just how things ended in Philly. I'm sure he's gonna.
And even his like response to leaving, like he's like, I had like a good and bad relationship with the fans. Like I loved when they would just tell me to shoot like 40 times a game. So and Voracek, he loved it. I think you love the Philly fans because they're passionate, but like. I guess the way it worked out for him there, he didn't really get the true, like, if he made it to, like, if he won the cup with them, then I guess you could see, like, how much they cared, but, yeah. That's a weird one. I think Flyers win it overall, but Blue Jackets got the not much better player, but the better player right now. Next one, I'm just going to go through this one quick because it's just Braden Burke, Steenbergen to Coyotes for Holton.
World Junior legend.
I was going to say, I like Steenbergen. I thought he was going to be an NHL player. He might in LA, but I thought Steenbergen was.
I think he can be a good, like, a bottom guy. He's a good guy. He can score.
Yeah.
Got traded for Boko Imama. I just like him because Brandon Manning got his ass kicked by him because he's racist towards him. So he's a good player. I like him.
Never heard of him.
I just remember Brandon Manning got traded to the Oilers. The guy who injured McDavid in his rookie season gets traded to the Oilers for Drake Caggiula, I'm pretty sure. And Drake Caggiula is like a good friend of McDavid. Just made no sense. And then they put Manning in the minors, and then he was just racist and got his ass kicked by the guy he was racist to. So it worked out perfect. Jackets get Bean for a second again.
I'm loaded on like prospect.
They're good. I'm giving the Seattle Kraken shit here. You just pick
Why
them
did they
up.
not pick? Why did they not take him?
That's a second rounder. Like they didn't do the Vegas thing where you get
Guys,
the
I think you guys are sleeping on Morgan Geekie. Like
I
Morgan
like
Geekie-
Morgan Geekie.
No,
I
hey.
like Morgan Geekie a lot.
Yes.
I think Jake Bean's like gonna be better.
I think you could. There's how do I put this?
There's better asset management at play.
Yes,
with Vegas.
that's exactly what I was trying to say, and Rav just stole it from me.
Yeah, sorry. I think
Nope, that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. Vegas definitely had better asset management off rip than this team did, but I think Seattle still can get it.
There's
now-
a world. I was gonna say there's a world. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but there's a world where Columbus is like a dark horse wild card. I'm not trying to be key for anything. There's a world in which like Columbus is like a dark horse wild card team next year.
I do feel bad for Columbus fans because you lose so many guys. Like
Yeah.
You
That's
lose
true.
like the best winger, like you lose Panarin, you lose Bob. Like these guys at one point, even Panarin right now, arguably is the best left winger, and you lose at one of the best goalies, if not the best, at one point too. Like you lose like in their prime. You know, these guys could be such like vital pieces, but I think it's just because it's Columbus. Like you can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's fair.
It's great because right now it's just a place where people develop and they leave. So I mean,
Yeah.
it is brutal, but yeah, I guess I hope they get good because there's a lot of fans that support that team. Jones first and a sixth, the 32nd, or that wasn't 32nd. That was what was the one? Which one was it? What pick was it? It was one of the top 15. For Boquist, 32nd. No, it was the 32nd pick.
Number 11.
So Chicago got the 32nd pick, Jones, and a sixth next year. For Boquist, a top 15 pick this year. Forgot who it was. Second
the
round.
12 because Arizona had the fourth.
Yeah,
their
because
pick.
that's who they picked Cole Sillinger with.
Yeah.
That's who we picked Sillinger. Okay.
Yes.
So they got the first rounder, second rounder this year, and then the first rounder next year. And then they locked up Jones 8 years, 9.5.
They're gonna hate that contract. Like that is
no defenseman getting a contract at this age, that long, that much term has ever worked out.
Can I just say, Cale Makar, like the day after, got the $9 million, for 6 years.
That's just the RFA thing, though. You know, like
I get that, but like 9 times out of 10, I would do the Makar. Like that is such a better deal, and you're getting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Makar will fall out. You know, like Jones
I would give Makar like 10 mil for 6 years. He deserves it.
He's worth it.
Yeah, like you can even like Jones, you're paying Jones because of a name. Like you know Seth Jones, you recognize the name. He hasn't done anything over the last 2-3 years to really get that.
Yeah, he has the name. I don't believe the analytics do him justice because they really rip on him. But I think he is better than the analytics say. Except last year though. Last year was just a horrible season. It wasn't even like bad. It was horrible.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was a really bad season. I hope, dude. I think it's a thing where I've heard multiple people say like the main guys there, like Canes, Taves, they still want to run it back, but like signing guys to long-term deals just to run it back for a few more years, then you're stuck with that like in the middle of a rebuild most likely, unless they do like the Detroit thing where they keep it going, they can make the playoffs. But I don't know.
No, the problem. So here's the thing then. Why sign that deal? Like if again, speaking of asset management, why would you sign that deal? If Jones has not been performing that well and you think you can get Jones for less, sign him for less. Don't feel like you have to sign him for 9.5 because you think that's what he can be. He hasn't shown that.
Yeah.
Pay him for what you've seen. But
that's 100%. You're correct. It just doesn't make sense to sign a guy that long who hasn't performed that good analytically.
I think analytically, Boquist was playing far better.
Boquist runs the offense much better than he does. I think, and he's so much younger, and I think he has like as big as a ceiling as Jones does.
I was gonna say $2 million of that salary from Seth is going to Callum. That's probably what that is.
And also, he still has like it's 9 years. He got the contract. He got the contract. That's at that start of next season. So 2030,
like that's how that works, right?
Yeah. So he'll be here 2030. He'll be 36. You don't want to give any 35-year-old like you really. I don't think there's any defenseman in the league who's 36 at any point in their career and deserved 9.5 million.
No.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
I know it's a
no.
thing where like you're just long term, like they deserve because they're gonna be so good for your prime. You just want to like have them for long term, and they deserve the money. It's kind of like a sending off gift, but like that's if you're in a good position. Where I don't believe Chicago's in that good position yet, where they have all the players ready. They have good players. They got Dog to Brinkett, and then they got Kane and Taves. The decor.
Was it just him?
Is that just him? I guess that's just him. Rav just cut out there. I guess Rav will be back. Rav has just stopped right in the middle.
Yeah, but
Oh,
so
there he is. Rav's back.
He's back. What was I saying? I said
why would you pay a 36-year-old $9.5 million?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me why you'd pay someone that old that much money, right? Like, I know it's a thing where it's like you're sending him off, like it's a sending off gift at the end of your contract because you played well for us throughout the contract, hopefully, but it rarely works out that way.
He's not a $9 million player.
Yeah, no, he's right now he's like a 5'4", got 4-5 playing like it, even like he's not even playing like it, but I think. He realistically he should have got like 7, like just for the name he would have got 7.
I probably would have been. I would have cringed a little bit if I had to give him 7, but
right,
nine is just like, yeah, no, that's you could have avoided that.
It would have been the first
9.5. You could have avoided.
Yeah, let's say they're $500K away, like from being the only team like with 10 mil guys.
Yep, because Toronto's the other one.
Toronto's the other one. Yep,
and I'm no offense, I would rather have Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and John Tavares than Kane, Taves, and Seth Jones.
Yeah, I guess I'd still argue even Kane's probably like Kane is better than all 3 of those Toronto guys, but I think Taves now and Jones, yeah. I still,
Columbus wins that trade.
Columbus wins that easy. They had 2 first rounders and like out of a guy who's not even going to play, he wasn't even going to sign there next year. Like that's amazing. Blue Jackets, Jarmo Kekalainen killed it this year. He deserves it.
Also, shout out to John Davidson, former Rangers president, who was back with the Blue Jackets this year. He was interviewing with Emily Kaplan during the draft on Friday, and he just looked like an upbeat guy. He was happy to continue doing what he was doing. It's nice to see John Davidson smiling. So
yeah, that's good. On to the Canucks one.
We're gonna unload here the OEL. We're gonna so actually say what the whole
the trade is Oliver Ekman-Larsson, defenseman, Connor Garland, the forward, for Antoine Roussel, Jay Beagle, Louis Eriksson, the 9th overall pick this year, the second rounder next year, and a 7th round pick in 2023.
So I'm gonna. So here's the thing. As a non-Canucks fan, let me just speak my piece first, okay? I think you can look at this trade in about 3 regards, okay? So, depending on what you sign Garland for, because Garland's an RFA, right? You're essentially you're essentially giving the first round pick for Garland.
Yeah.
You're then sending the rest of your shipped contracts to Arizona for Beagle, Eriksson, Roussel, the shit players, for OEL. Okay.
If you just looked at trades, you'd think Arizona's the expansion team.
Yeah, pretty much. You would just think that they're like the new kids on the block. And then because Arizona is retaining 12% on OEL, that's why you throw in the second in the 7th, I believe is how to look at that. Which, I mean, basically, it's actually a really smart play by Benning in a way, because he's basically just pushed the inevitable financial issues with the team further down the line, so that he doesn't have to deal with the consequences this year, so he can push it down the line, which is smart because he won't be around to deal with those consequences when they come around in like 5 years, because he won't be the GM. So like it's kind of a smart. It's kind of a
hey, he got the 3 years, just the 3 combined years of 3 1-year contracts left, and made it 6.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's Benning fucking magic at its finest.
Okay, why would you trade like players that? They might be 4th liners for us, and they have bad contracts. They all expire next summer.
Yeah, I think
And-
most Canucks fans thought like this year we're just gonna milk those shits out, and then next year we got all this cap space. We were like, I was thinking more so like this year they signed Pettersson Hughes to like these short terms, and then once the cap
thought they were
space
gonna
is
do bridge
open, we'll
deals.
get them. Yeah, that's what it's still gonna probably be that. We got like realistically after we sign Garland, we'll have like 13, 14, I think, like realistically, and I don't know how we're gonna get. I guess we signed to
Petey and Quinn should be both making $7 to $9 million each.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, if I'm Steve Yzerman, because Benning has said we're gonna offer sheet, like we're gonna match any offer sheet if it comes for Petey and Hughes, right?
Yeah.
If I'm Steve Yzerman, and it's probably a good thing I'm not, but if I'm Steve Yzerman, I'm saying, fuck it. Here's 7.5 over 7 years for both Petey and Hughes. These are our offer sheets.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have enough picks for that. You guys don't have enough picks for that.
Take it or leave it. Can I also throw out some other stats for you guys?
Is this some Ekman Larson stats or some Connor Garland stats?
These are some numbers, some financial numbers. So right now, according to Cap Friendly, combined between OEL, Schmidt, and Tyler Myers, the Canucks are spending $9.21 million in a cap hit for those three players. Schmidt's going to move out because Schmidt's apparently not happy. The 1 year was just an absolute catastrophe, apparently. So he's going to get moved out for pennies on the dollars because that's how this works. He got traded for a 3rd round pick last year from Vegas, so he's going to get traded for less than that. Is my prediction.
Yeah, 100%. He's getting like, dude. Yeah, I remember last year where I even just thought it was a good thing but it's just like I thought it was like we didn't pay much for him. Third's not like a player of his caliber like at the time, like because he was good, and I don't blame him this year for not being good. We just sucked and like everything went downhill. But yeah, I don't blame him for wanting to leave. I would leave too if I was in a situation like he's a good player. He doesn't.
The team was not the right fit. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's not his fault. It just didn't.
And like, yeah, I get that, but like, they're gonna go away and get a 4th for that guy.
Yeah, we're not even. Yeah, we're gonna get a 4th for him. If not, we might have to dump this guy. Like pay someone to take him. If he's not that bad, I don't think, because he's still a good hockey player.
So, speaking of good hockey players, between OEL, Schmidt, and Myers, the Canucks are taking up 23.6% of the cap to those three players, OEL, Schmidt, and Myers. Little less than a quarter of the cap goes to those three players.
Yeah, it sucks.
I wonder what their point like percentage is. Probably like 10%. They're taking up massive cap space.
Yeah, Myers. It's bad when Myers is getting $6 million and he's not that good, but he was arguably like the best defenseman we had last year, like to play defense. So that just shows how bad the team was last year. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it works out. Keith has been saying this is why you guys overreacting, and I overreacted. I think like a bit too much, but like
I hate this trade.
Yeah,
we gave it. So if you think about it, people. See, I don't know why people are so high on this trade because
I think
like,
it just
he brings like he can play with Quinn, like okay, 2 left shots on both on that line. He doesn't play defense. That's the one thing that's why Tanev played so good with Hughes.
Yeah,
because Tanev purely defense, and Hughes could go up and do stuff.
I
can't do that with him.
I told SYP creator Scott that a Hughes OEL defensive pairing might be the worst defensive pairing in the history of the NHL. Like that might be a pairing so bad. Like defensively, that might be a pairing so bad. I want to see it happen.
I don't even know if like Ekman Larson is even that good at driving offense anymore. Like I
he hasn't.
Yeah. I just don't even know if he's good at that. Where like Quinn is like elite, like top of the line at doing that, but. Even his defensive game, like it got better towards the end of last season, I think, but like it's not good. It wasn't good. And I don't blame him. He just, this 21-year-old guy just getting all this pressure on him because he has to be our main guy because our team sucks. And, I don't blame him for that because
like he is like, and that's the thing that like our top players are all under 24 with the exception of Bo Horvat, right?
Yeah.
Like Hogg, Podkolzin, Petey, Quinn, Bess, and we have Bo, who's like a couple years older, and they're like, let's go win the cup now. Demko is young. If we waited 3 years, so we didn't give away our draft picks, and we drafted Genther, we waited 3 years, 4 years, we would have to be a contender for the Stanley Cup. Now we're going to be mid tier for the next fucking 8 years, not being able to win because we don't have cap space to afford any guys we want.
Yeah, I guess that also just matters on the learning curve of the prospects that we could have had, mainly Genther. Like, we don't know if he's gonna, like, he could be a bust, or he might be a late bloomer. We don't know. But I guess it looks bad on us if this guy next year is playing and he's putting up 50 points or like 40 points, dude.
I mean, he's a 2 point per player game in the WHL.
Yeah, WHL is WHL. Like, it's so, like, you can't take that, like, you gotta take that with a grain of salt. But still, like, if he could be like a 30-point guy right off the bat, 40-point guy, it's a bad look. Even if Garland puts up 50, because that's
I do like Garland.
Garland is such a good player. He's arguably like the second best player last year behind Chikrin, maybe Keller.
So I wanted to go into that. So Garland would be on the second forward pair, I'm guessing, with Bo
It'll
and
probably
Hog.
Drop Pearson.
Well, that's the thing. Who do you play? Pearson up there? You wouldn't.
Pearson.
I was gonna say I had Hoglander.
Hog was
100% Hoglander.
Hoglander, Bo, and then Garland on the right, and then up front you have PD, JT.
Bottom 649.
Yeah.
And then third line, you have Pearson, Dickinson, and Pod.
That's not a horrible. I don't mind that either.
It's good.
I'm okay with Dickinson.
I think our main reason last year, like, the offense wasn't clicking off the start, and then just the defense was brutal all year. It's just the defense. Like, I pray that Ekman-Larsson is good next year. I hope it. He said, what did he say? I have it written right here. Canuck Ekman-Larsson candidly admits he needs to refill his competitive tank. The first comment is, at least he's being honest. Like,
I was
if he plays good, then thank God.
I was gonna say
a thing where I know, like, most of the time it's like change of scenery this late in the career with that contract never works. It is a thing where, like, I hope he gets a mini rebound off the bat. But, like, I feel like that mini rebound is gonna last for the.
It's not gonna last 6 years.
I know it's a thing where, like, because we got Daniel Hendrick back on the team now, like, helping, and he's Ekman-Larsson and them are really good friends, so it worked out that way. I guess that's also a thing where the Sedins were probably driving it, but I just hope it works out, because that Ekman-Larsson in his prime is a good hockey player, like a top line defenseman, but I haven't seen that in a few years.
And just because, for the Coyotes fans who are listening to this show, I'm happy with I'm glad the Coyotes. So basically, the Coyotes are doing what I was saying that the Sabres should do, and basically just take every shitty contract for draft picks and then just rebuild that way. That's what I thought the Sabres are doing, and then Arizona's like, no, we're gonna do it instead. So, I mean,
Arizona has no chance of winning the cup next year, so they take on all these shitty contracts. They all expire. They're not gonna re-sign them.
I'm gonna go through a few of the Coyotes picks, like their draft or the trades. They got Ladd for 2 seconds and a third for nothing, but, like, that's good. You got all these picks and you got the space. One they don't get Philly is, like, you give up Gostisbehere for a second and seventh, and you don't get anything in return, and then you do I guess I should just move on to that trade, the Ristolainen trade.
Yeah, let's do the Ristolainen trade.
The Ristolainen for Hag first and a second. Hag's a seventh defenseman.
He's been a replacement level defenseman for a few years.
Yeah, he's a seventh defenseman, arguably, if not like a low end sixth. But for that, a first and a second for Ristolainen, they got assets for Ristolainen.
I said, and this was like one of the earlier trades in the day, but I said, like, and not to be hyperbolic, but is that not one of the worst trades, is giving up assets to go acquire Rasmus Ristolainen?
Yeah.
Ristolainen is not worth that.
Ristolainen isn't even worth
a bad trade.
Like, Ristolainen, I'd argue he's worth a third, because it's still Ristolainen. It's a high pick, and he's shown sparks that he could be good, but, like, I think he's just worth a third. And you can, I guess, fucking throw Hag in there while you're at it. I guess they got a defenseman back, but, like, he's not worth a first and a second. I don't know what. Oh, that's a wild one. And you give up Gostisbehere, who, like, okay, the guy's not that good defensively even, but, like, Ristolainen isn't either. Like, Gostisbehere is arguably, like, the same level as Ristolainen defensively, and Gostisbehere runs the offense much better than Ristolainen ever did.
It's true.
And I know it's like a thing where probably Gostisbehere, like, it was probably a locker room thing. It may have been something like that, because to get no return on him. I guess it's also the contract too, and I guess no one also wanted to take him. So I don't know. Hopefully he turns around in Phoenix Phoenix because he is.
Yeah, well, technically, Rob, they play in Glendale, Arizona.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
They don't actually play in Phoenix. No, I think Goss's Bear will be fine in Arizona. I think it'll work for the most part.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about the first Kraken trade after the expansion draft. The only Kraken trade, Tyler Pitlick for a fourth. Like I said, there's the asset management. I think Ron was trying it out for a bit there.
Also, why did they take that player from Philly that they did?
Yeah,
Jimmy
Twerinski?
McCorkle. I have no idea who.
Carson Twerinski. They took him instead of taking. Like again, there's like guys you take and you can asset management and you get picks like they did with Pitlick, but they didn't do it with like Bean. Bean's a second.
Why not take JVR? Have him play a fucking great season.
I guess it's a thing where I'm assuming Seattle's trying to get some big guys like in the next year or two because there's no reason they were.
Yeah, I don't.
Like that's what I'm assuming.
I heard they had interest in Dougie, but they have a great defense core. Why would they take another defenseman?
Yeah, it is weird. I guess. Again,
maybe
they were.
They were also in on Landeskog. I don't know how far that's going, but they had interest in Landeskog.
I didn't listen to your last podcast, but dude, I don't get how you don't take Tarasenko. I'm sorry. That guy's a perennial 35 goal scorer. I know he has a shoulder injury.
I think he was.
I think he can like still be a 30 goal guy, 60 point guy, like at the minimum, dude. Like he's always played in St. Louis, which is a primarily defensive, like it's a defensive team. Like he was the guy who was running the show up until like they won the cup, until all the, until
shit hit the fan after they won the cup.
Then I don't think shit even hit the fan. I guess it did, but like, I mean, it doesn't matter when you win a cup. I think if the shit hits the fan after you win a cup, it's shit.
No, they're turning into like the Philadelphia Eagles now. Like that's what the Blues are. Is that they're just gonna like just slowly but surely, like they're just going to like fall down into
just gliding downward.
Yeah, they're just sliding down right now, and the people that they're committed to right now, Biddington is like the Carson Wentz. Like that's essentially what's happening with the Blues.
Binnington is the biggest hothead in the fucking NHL.
Oh, that guy's a fucking menace. Actually,
like a menace to society.
So yeah, that and I mean, I don't know. I really have no idea.
Yeah.
Also, I have no. We'll talk about the Kraken expansion draft a little bit, but Tyler Pitlick just feels like a Calgary Flames player, like a bottom six. Like he plays all the tough minutes. Like that just seems like.
No, he doesn't.
Ram heavy, like that just seems like a Flames type.
It's the shit that you say to like bad defensemen who play lots of minutes, and you have to say something good about them.
It's actually there's actually no like redeeming quality about him. It's just like you just say all these like buzzwords about the player, and that's why we took him. And it's just like okay, but like what actually is he gonna do? It's like. He's just a grinder, man. He just grinds all 60 minutes. It's like, okay, but what is he gonna do? Like, what is his
He grinds.
Yeah, okay, but like, what's his like? That's what I feel like Tyler Pitlick is with the Flames. So at least you get a fourth for that. But,
I'll go through the good ones now. Buchnevich for Blaze in a second. I guess it's a thing where the Rangers needed cap space for Goudreau and they can't sign.
Yeah, you trade Buchnevich so you
trade like the fucking. Buchnevich was like, I'm pretty sure leading their team in points until like.
Dude, he was playing so good.
Yeah, he was good at I think he was good. He's a good back checker too this year. He really turned up a notch this year. He's up to near a point per game-ish, if not at that level this year. Then
he had 48 points in 54 games.
Like I know he's playing along Panarin, obviously, but like. To get like Strome, I think he's all over the place this year. There's a lot of line changes towards them. Kako was up there, but like it was a. I don't know. You shouldn't be giving Goudreau that. You shouldn't be giving Goudreau that.
Goudreau got 20 points in 55 games, and you're taking Goudreau over Bennett.
You arguably you probably have to give Booch like you might give him 6, 7. He deserves 6. I think he deserves 5. He'll his market value is probably 6. Like I think 6-ish. Like he would get.
So stupid.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's $2 million more than Goodrow, and you're getting like
You're getting a good player.
good
no,
hockey
listen,
player.
I think the Blues won this trade, but this all like I just compared the Blues to the Eagles like a few seconds ago. This does feel like the hey, let's have a kid to save the marriage type thing, and it's just like listen. I get where you're coming from. I hope it works out, but I am still skeptical that this is gonna be good for St. Louis. I mean,
I don't know. I might like just ruin Buchnevic's like progress, but I hope it doesn't because the guy's good.
Well, do you think if Tarasenko stays, they play on the line together?
Yeah, it'd
you
probably
would
be
think,
O'Reilly.
wouldn't you?
O'Reilly, you throw.
Yeah, O'Reilly, Tarasenko, Buchnevich. You would think that would be the move.
Or
wouldn't
they
it
could
be?
split up the talent too. I think it probably would be Tarasenko number one line. I think it's second to start. If he turns it up, he'll be on the first. If not,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
What else we got here? We got Ned for Bernier in the third.
Oh my God, dude! What a fuck. CDY.
Steve Goat.
Steve is a goat. That is such a finesse.
So listen, I said about that. I said about Nedeljkovic played for the U.S. juniors team like a few years ago. Like he's been a bit slow in his development. Like he really came along.
Wait, what? He's Canadian.
No, he played for U.S.
No, he's Canadian.
He's not Canadian.
I'm so positive because I remember him playing underneath. I think it was Zach Bucali or someone.
No.
Alex Nedeljkovic is an American professional ice hockey player.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Do your research, Cal. No.
Who am I thinking?
No. I remember Nedeljkovic played for Team USA at the World Juniors.
He won the bronze and he won the gold at the under 18s 2014.
Yeah, and
he's fucking good.
And I knew like
champ.
I remember watching him at the juniors like a few years ago. Like this guy's gonna be good. It's gonna take some time. Just given the right situation.
I think it worked out perfectly for him. It was a slower process.
He really came along this season with Carolina. Like you can see when like Mrazek and Reimer.
Rookie of the year, top 3 voting, dude. The guy was good.
Yeah.
The guy was great.
That guy was good.
And he basically Carolina would be probably a finals team if not for having to go through Tampa Bay. Like that was like the one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Easy.
And a lot of that was because of Nedeljkovic being that rock and net. So I am thrilled to see him go to Detroit. But I also do want to say thank you very much, Jonathan Bernier, for being like an above 900 save percentage goalie.
He did play pretty good.
Dude, he was like 9-5, like he was near 9-10, like some like playing behind Mark Stahl, like that takes like skill.
And Danny DeKaiser, and he had
playing behind Mark Stahl and Danny DeKaiser,
and he had no business whatsoever like doing
playing
as well as he did with the Red Wings, and he has to go to Carolina, so they're gonna probably reunite the Bernier Reimer line. So I
heard Reimer wants to leave.
Maybe go back to Toronto. Maybe Reimer wants to go to Toronto. And
I don't think he can do that. He shouldn't do that just for his own mental health. I don't think he doesn't deserve that. that man is too nice. He does not deserve that shit, dude.
So no, I think that's a great trade for Detroit.
Easy. Great trade.
It's a really underwhelming return for Carolina. I think Bernier's fine, but it's still an underwhelming return considering how young Nedeljkovic is, how talented he is.
How well he played.
The
fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, man?
I'll go through just 2 more big ones. I guess
sure.
Brett Howden went to Vegas and Rangers got something, which is fucked. Barclay Goodrow 7th and the whole 6 years, 3.6.
That's a shitty contract.
Aiden Hill goes to the Sharks for Coronar. I think it was the backup towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Hill's good. Jones is bad, so Hill will probably start.
He'll probably start.
They're trying to find a way to get rid of Jones, and it's
that's
good luck.
No one's good luck,
dude. I was gonna say it's probably gonna end in a buyout.
Yeah,
dude.
Probably.
Sharks have the worst contracts in the league.
Yeah. Can we actually great point, Callum. Can we actually talk about that? How the Sharks are, I would say, the worst, like that's the worst GM job right now. When you have the Carlson contract stinks, the Burns contract stinks, the Jones contract stinks, you have Logan Couture and Evander Kane. This team stinks.
Vlasic, dude.
Vlasic. Marc-Edouard Vlasic. That guy stinks. That is the worst.
Vlasic is so
okay. That is the worst job in the NHL.
Again, it's a thing right there. Prime example of what like Carlson at his prime was arguably literally one of the best offensive defensemen of all time.
Easily.
That guy was playing at like at such a level you haven't seen in years. But signing a guy that much money,
11.5 till 26, 27.
at his
Brent
age,
Burns, $8 million till 24, 25. Vlasic, $7 million till 25, 26. Martin Jones, 5.75 till 23, 24.
Again, in the future where you get Eklund and you got to sign, Timo, you got to sign all these guys.
Evander Kane, $7 million till 24, 25.
To be fair to Kane, Kane actually had a good season this year, I'd say. Like,
yeah,
considering the circumstances around everything regarding him. Dickinson for third, Benning W, rare Benning W. Ellis for Philip Myers, Nolan Patrick. Nolan Patrick then gets flipped from Nashville to Vegas for Cody Glass.
Yeah,
I think Nolan Patrick for Cody Glass 1-for-1. Like,
that's just a change of scenery thing. They both have been just.
I think both of those guys will do really well next year.
I hope.
I'm excited to see Nolan Patrick in Vegas. I think he'll do well in Vegas, and I think Cody Glass will do well in Nashville. He's in Nashville, right? So that should be. I think
Cody Glass. That Vegas system didn't fit with how he plays. Nolan Patrick. It's just unfortunate everything. I think the Vegas system is more towards what he is. I think he can still be like a good third line guy. And like hopefully like he can be. I think he can start off like at the bottom and he can work his way up because there's a lot of talent there. The reason he's taken so high, right?
And I said it before too with Patrick. He just needs to be healthy. Like I know you can't teach that, but if you're healthy, you're gonna do really well in Vegas.
And then Ellis for Myers and felt like you're essentially you're getting Glass and Myers for Ellis. Like Flyers definitely won that trade. Like I'd say because it works out where now you got Provorov and Ellis. Please don't put Ristolainen there. Please do that. Provorov, Ristolainen, talking about Hughes and fucking Ekman Larson. Provorov, Ristolainen might be actually. I think that's worse.
No,
Ian, that's worse. Come on, Provorov. I don't know about. I haven't looked at Provorov.
I might make that an SYP poll. Like, will be an actual word, like not offense, but like defensive wise pairing. God, that would be so awful.
Provorov,
Ristolainen. Ristolainen versus Oliver Ekman Larson.
That is so bad. Okay.
Debate of the century.
I think just one more last one.
Yeah, one more.
Duncan Keith. There's a bunch.
Oh my god.
Scott and I talked about this one. That's a horror. He actually thought it was an okay deal for us. No. Scott is still living in 2013, where he thinks like that trade was okay. He thought the OEL trade was a good trade for Vancouver. Like he thought
Francois Beauchemin's still good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it was actually smart to get rid of. Is
Hilliso backing up?
Well, it was good to get rid of Theodore. It was good to get rid of Theodore so you could keep Clayton Stoner. Like that's a smart move for
Clayton Stoner. Yeah, because you got Cog. You gotta keep Cog in. I gotta keep his Iron Man.
Anyway, no, Scott just seems to be. I think is living in 2013 still.
He was happy about McTavish when I saw him, dude. So the second round, they had a good draft. So it's looking up for them. They got Zegras, who's gonna play good next year. I think Comtois, all those guys. Hopefully, Steele can turn around.
I think Comtois and McTavish on the line will be pretty good.
That'd be fun to watch.
They play pretty similar.
Yeah.
Jamie Drysdale, the guy on the chicken nuggets fucking boxes. You've seen those, right? I
have seen those.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Damn it. All right. Listen, we're running a bit long here, but I'll move it a bit. Do you want to talk about the Kraken expansion draft a little bit?
Yeah.
I feel like we covered that, but
we covered it. Okay, because I
feel like just like the baseline.
Yeah.
If they're not signing people, what the fuck are they on?
Can I also just say people apparently didn't like the show on Wednesday? I thought it was a really fun show.
Well, it's because Frank just gave it out.
Yeah, Frank gave all the picks out.
Yeah,
I go on Twitter in the morning and Frank just gives out everything. So I unfollow him and Elliot, and I delete my Instagram just so I don't see it. And I already know Tanev's on the team. I know all these guys are on the team. I think the only
that's a bad. I didn't like the Brandon Tanev. because that's a shit contract. Let me tell you, I hated that contract. Like when we did our mock expansion draft, I said to Scott, I can't pick Brandon Tanev because I said that was a shitty contract that Pittsburgh signed when they signed him from Winnipeg. I'm like, I can't take that. Like that's a horrible contract.
Do you think it's bad that when Seattle were bringing up their star players, Brandon Tanev was one of them?
Yeah, that's a little concerning. That was a little concerning.
What else? One other thing was I love Matt Martin and Clutterbuck, but you don't protect them though. They're like Vegas or what do you call it? Seattle's not going to take Matt Martin. Seattle's not going to take Clutterbuck, right? Like they're oh my god. And now Eberle and Bailey are gone, or Eberle's gone, but Bailey's still there. But like
I might get an Eberle Kraken jersey.
He did look nice in it. He did look good in it.
I do like those jerseys.
I didn't like how they asked the question like you were so close to the finals. You could just see out on his face like how. No, I mean I would be why you shouldn't be asking a guy who's this close 2 years in a row to making it a final. Like
that was the thing about
both years he would have won. I think he would have won. It's funny because like they would have just won. They would have just ripped Montreal apart the way they play.
I was just gonna say that it was kind of the same with Mark Giordano, where Giordano you could tell was like it was a bittersweet interview for him because you could sense that he really didn't want to leave Calgary, but then at the same time it's like, hey, you guys drafted me, huh? You see, I got drafted in the expansion draft. I'm now a member of the Kraken, so.
The thing is though, like I was talking to someone who was like the defensemen that Calgary protected were all better than Giordano.
Yeah, like
people are like, I would give like, why wouldn't you protect him with picks? I go, man, like, is he worth it? I gave your captain, and he's fucking 38. He's one of the oldest players in the league.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that one.
The expansion draft show was also cool because Marshawn Lynch got to take part.
That was hilarious.
And
the yarn croak thing.
And
Callie,
my boy Callie, it was his pick, and Gary Payton, Sean Kemp showed up. That was
Sean
really
Kemp
cool.
could have pronounced that one name, whoever he picked. I forgot who
Donskoy or something.
Donskoy.
He butchered Donskoy.
That was a good pick I'll give him that because Donskoy, he was manning the number one power play. Like the guy.
He did really good. Yeah. He did really good in Colorado.
Yeah, he's good. He's good in Colorado. I think he'll be good in Seattle. Yeah, I think it was an okay draft, but yes, it could have been much better.
It could have been much better.
That roster will look different on opening night. Like that's not going to look like the full.
They must be signing players.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Vegas's draft, you know how look how different it looked there then. So they got time. Yeah, that's all I got for them.
We'll talk about the NBA quickly. Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks who won the finals this past week against the Phoenix Suns. One of the all-time great games from Giannis, 50 points.
That's arguably the best.
That game 6 might have been his best game.
Yeah,
that guy went off.
That's probably that's 100% his best game of his career. That's also arguably like the best closeout to finals ever. Like that is one of the best, if not the best.
That was crazy.
It was incredible watching it on TV and just like no one else was scoring. So Giannis just like, fuck it, I'll score. And
they didn't have an answer. Like the Suns did not have an answer.
I think my favorite play in the entire series was when Giannis was at the top of the perimeter and then he just ran like a running back. Like he just got momentum and he just ran like a running back into Ayton, who was in the lane. And it was just like, yeah, that works because Ayton just can't handle that. Like there's just no stopping a big ass Giannis running down the lane.
Guy's built.
Yeah. So kudos to the Bucks, kudos to Milwaukee. PJ Tucker with no tangible basketball skill won a championship, so kudos to PJ Tucker.
Yeah, PJ Tucker's been really close. You know, he's a guy who deserves it. He had the hard way, bro. He was in Europe and everything. Yeah, he deserves it. Jay Crowder, poor guy, lost 6 games back-to-back years.
Tough game for Crowder too. Him and what's his name? Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson was terrible shooting.
Yeah, I thought I right when Stephen A's like, give it the ball, Cam Johnson. I'm like, yep, give it to him because he's actually been good. And then that, he was not good at game 6. Giannis deserves it. And like it's sick to see like that their whole family, everyone who's in the league right now from their families won a championship. So that's cool too.
Callum, do you have any thoughts on the NBA Finals? Giannis, Milwaukee.
I liked it, honestly. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Man, Suns, I thought they had it in the first few games.
Dude, I thought it was it.
I was like, wow, they're playing really good. And Giannis must have turned them on, man. I don't know what happened.
See, we did that to Giannis in 2019 with Kawhi. We were down 2-0, and everyone's like, "It's it." And we won 4 straight, and Giannis learned. He was a good player, man.
I was gonna say, I guess for the Suns, maybe they'll re-sign Chris Paul. I don't know how that's gonna go in the. They probably need another big man. I don't know if it.
I was gonna say if they re-sign Chris Paul and they get one more.
I don't think Sarge makes the difference, but having him not there and having Frank Kaminsky III playing in the finals is also brutal.
I was gonna say, like, I know we joke about these guys, but like if they could get either a JaVale or a Dwight Howard as like the backup center who you can get to play like 10, 11, 12
having guys like that, like there's a reason JaVale is always on like the good teams. Like it's not like he's on the good teams because the guy is good at basketball. Like it's just these guys are good. Like it's always, that's why I told you, like the Olympics, dude, you realize like these guys who play basketball's a sport where like everyone who plays is fucking good. It's just the fact that there's such better, like the level is so high. Like there's only how many players even play in the league? What is it, like 15 times 30, whatever that equals out to.
500 players in a league.
Even like, and players that are playing, it's like 10. So you got 300 players that are really even playing, dude. That's such a small group of players in the world that play. Like it's so much more than any other sport.
Especially when most of them are American.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the like, yeah. I was gonna go on a tangent again, but I'm gonna stop.
I mean, you can if it's really important.
Nah, it's I gotta like, it's just the same thing over and over, and I was like, yeah.
All right. Later on this week, I'm hoping that SYP creator Fuji and I will be doing some NBA content this week, so stay tuned for that. Do you want to talk about the entertainment for a little bit? We only have one mailbag question, so there's not a lot in the mailbag to talk about, but. I mean, we've been trying to get more entertainment. I saw Space Jam too. Was Space Jam: A New Legacy on Saturday? That movie's ass.
Yeah, I've heard no one's liked it.
You don't need to go see that. You are okay if you don't go pay $40 like I did, ticket and popcorn to go watch it. You can live with it.
Yeah, I heard like the director of like Space Jam 1 was just absolutely trashing that movie.
No, my two favorite parts from Space Jam. So there was one. I don't want to spoil it, but pretty much like LeBron left his son, and basically the guy who was watching LeBron's kid was just like, yeah, well that's kind of his MO, isn't it? Like he left Cleveland, he left Miami, he left Cleveland again. It was like that made me laugh. That was funny. It's like him leaving, and then what was the other funny bit? Oh, was they were joking, like the Toon Squad losing at halftime, and Sylvester the Cat said that Michael Jordan wanted to give a halftime speech, and so everyone's just anticipating Michael Jordan like coming into the hallway, but they can't see because of the lighting. And then once the light actually shines on him, it's actually Michael B. Jordan, not Michael Jordan, the basketball player, and everyone's just completely let down by the fact that it's Michael B. Jordan and not the real Michael Jordan. And then Michael B. Jordan's like, yeah, Sylvester Cat said that like you'd like to see me. And it's just like, no, we don't want to see. No, sorry, like you're the wrong Michael Jordan. Like, sorry. It's just like, okay. And then he just left. That was funny. But
everything else was shit.
I thought about walking out like 20 minutes in. Like that's just how bad it was. It's just like, why did I come to watch? Like I went with friends, so I'm not gonna like walk out with friends, but like I did contemplate walking out 20 minutes in.
Brutal.
Rav, new Kid Laroi music came out this week.
Yeah, he did something weird. I've never seen someone do like so first of all, his album names suck. It's Fuck Love 3. He promotes it also like a fucking like clickbait YouTube prank title, like Fuck Love 3 a.m. Gone Wild. Like it's like that font.
Hell yeah.
That's how I read it. That's how it reads, dude. Like he read it as like a fucking YouTube title. So I guess Fuck Love 3, another 2 Fuck Loves. He combined into one large fuck love 3, so he put all the songs from those EP on this one, so he gets all the sales from the other one, so it looks like he sold more. So I've never seen I've seen rappers do something like that, but that's wild what he did.
That is wild.
There's only apparently 7 new songs. I went through like, I'd say like 2/3 of it, and I just gave up. I used to like this guy a lot like 2 years ago. I thought this guy was sick. Because he was just like this guy, like he was friends with Juice WRLD and all that. Like
His
all
song
that.
with Juice WRLD in the album's good. I like this.
That one's good. No, there's some good songs. The song with Justin Bieber is amazing.
That was another one I was gonna say.
That song is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
that song's the hits on it are good. It's just he's really changed it from what he was.
Like I feel like his hit songs are good, but his filler songs for the album
Yeah.
just don't work.
He will be big as a pop artist. I just thought he would, back when I used to listen to him, he's a rap artist, and I think he just changed it, which hey, good for him. It'll probably make him more money, but I'm not listening to that. I'm sorry. It was just a lot of the same.
29 songs is also way too many to have on an album.
Yeah, I mean,
like you got to cut that in half.
I would say I would give that whole mess a 4 out of 10. The hit's a hit.
I was gonna say out of 5 stars,
3?
I might give it like a 2.
I'd say a 3 out of 10, 3.5.
Yeah.
I like the Lil Nas Jack Harlow song. I do like that one though.
Yeah, Industry Baby. I thought that was a good song.
Yeah,
they got that
I saw
right.
Lil Nas X tweeted out like some person got mad at. He's such a funny Twitter follower.
Yeah, no, he's funny he's funny online.
He has TikTok bombs, dude. Like, where is this? Yeah, but that song is good. That song is a good song, and I like how like they had to give Jack Harlow a girl because just so they didn't believe he was actually like gay. That was in the music video.
Yeah. So, any other music or songs that I missed out on? I know the Kid Laroi album was one that everybody's been talking about.
There's the KSI one. KSI, like he sold a lot apparently. It was that one also was a one where I thought it would be much better the way he promoted it. I think he just promoted it just so people listen to it. But really, the good songs were the ones that he released prior. The ones
like Holiday. Holiday was pretty good. Like really good.
I don't know if I could listen to that one because it's also just like it is one of them poppy songs.
It does seem like he went from like rap to pop.
Yeah, I like the songs with Lil Durk, No Time, and I like Gang Gang with Dino and J1. I liked and then the singles Patience. And the other 2 songs that released, the one with Craig David, who's a UK legend, and the other one, Don't Play, that was also a good one. Those like the main ones, like the really big songs that got big for him, I think were really the best ones.
All right. Hey, good stuff, I think, with music and entertainment. I'm getting better with that, which is helping with everyone getting better. I'm getting better, which is making it better for the rest of the podcast.
Lil Nas X, like someone got mad at him for like because of all the like the music video being all like raunchy, I guess is what but like he replies to someone like, so you're mad at me in a shower out of jail, like, but no, it's like I literally grinded on Satan in my last video. We draw the line at a fucking prison shower.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this guy's a funny dude.
Mailbag time. This is our last segment, I think. Mailbag. Yeah. Biggest steal of the first round NHL draft. We talked about this a little bit. I think it's Eklund or Wallstat, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eklund or Wallstat. Because I think Edmonton trading down and Minnesota, who has like Judd Brackett, our old scout, who I fucking love. And he trades up 2 picks to get what could be like an elite goalie. And then Eklund just happened to fall to the Sharks.
Yeah, that was just like
the Sharks got lucky. Like it just
the Sharks did get lucky.
Yeah, because their positioning, they shouldn't have. They don't. I should say they don't deserve a guy like that good, that low, but they really don't. That
was from FYP creator Scott. He wanted to know what the biggest steal of the first round of the NHL draft. I don't know if there's any other steals that I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention to the draft, but if you had to ask me on the spot, it's probably either Eklund or Wallstat.
I mean, Boston had a really good pick in Fabian Lysell at 21.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I wouldn't call it a huge deal.
There's a thing going around. You finish it.
I was going to say, he got to be maybe a top 10 player.
He could be. He's shown. I think his stats haven't shown that, but like when you watch him play, you see how how dynamic he can be. There's a thing going around like where he threw his stick at the puck. Like I think it was on an empty net, he threw his stick at a puck, and then there was like just to stop it from going in, and there was just like a fight that ensued right after. I think that was literally today in an international game. Yeah.
You love to see it. Lifestyle, I heard, is somebody who can be like a starter in the Bruins lineup in like 2 years from now.
Yeah, that's what I thought with
I can see that.
guys too. Like I thought Frederick could be much better than he was, but he just looks like a goon. Stanika could be another guy who could.
Beecher.
Sorry?
John Beecher.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
Oh, he's a center. He played really good in the last couple World Juniors.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty well internationally for the Americans the last few years.
I think he could be a good like third line, second line if he actually develops.
Middle six probably.
Yeah.
Center. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the podcast. Boys, any final thoughts, takeaway? Are we going to call this technical difficulties part 2?
Yeah, we could, just because
it only took us like 5 times to try, so.
Yeah, we've been chatting now for about 2 hours, and this podcast, just on Zoom, and this podcast, I don't know, this might be an hour and a half pod, but yeah, it's been fun talking to you guys both. We'll probably have to have both of you around for SYP 100 for the 100th podcast episode next month.
I guess we could do a few end of the thing shout outs. Nick Hjalmarsson retired today.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah,
he was a 3-time Stanley Cup winner, and he was a integral part of that team.
He played brilliantly for Chicago.
That guy's a rock. I think it's probably the injuries. The guy he's putting his body out of everything.
He put his body in front of the fucking puck.
Yeah, I forgot where. Let me pull it up.
Him and Keith for like the longest time was the best defensive pairing.
It was really good.
It was really good. Like you had to get through those guys, and then you had to go against Corey Crawford. Like,
so
his prime.
Evolving Hockey on Twitter says Nick Hjalmarsson is arguably one of the greatest defensive players literally to ever play hockey. We do not have historical comparisons because like analytics is only a recent thing, but from recent, like if you look at his recent his defensive analytics, this guy has just been consistently at the top of his game, just like from the start to the end. Even last year, it's just he was just so he was. They don't win all those 3 cups without him. That guy is such a that
he's
guy,
a rock back there.
How many shot blocks did this guy saw?
I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's definitely somebody who like
you can consider to like retire his number. I don't even happen.
I think he's like you can consider him like Ring of Honor as the Canucks. Chicago.
I would honor him because he deserves it. They don't win those cups without him. That guy is a. I also think it's not a hockey thing. It's every sport thing. But like players like him in every sport, where like the grinding guys, they will never get the respect they deserve.
No. I was gonna say he's not one of the first guys you mentioned, but you do have to mention him when you're talking about those Blackhawks teams in the 2010s. Like he is.
And you got like the Taves, Kane, Seabrook, Keith as like your main 4, and then you got like Sharp, Hjalmarsson, Crawford,
yeah, like those guys who played a bit of a lesser role, but still made a noticeable impact when they were on the team.
Like Bickle and Bolin. Bickle especially. Like people are giving like the team shit for giving him a contract that he deserved. It. The guy, he won him he got the comeback goal in 2015. Yeah. 1,605 block shots. That's in his career. That's
that's.
Blackhawks D Zones on Twitter says that's the equivalent of getting hit with a puck every day straight for 4 years.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so it definitely was probably an impact of that, but arguably, like in the analytic era, this guy was like a top 5 defenseman defensively ever. That's what the people are saying.
Good lord!
Yeah, so the legend of the sport.
The other quick shout out I want to give is to USA Rugby. Again, as we record this, they just defeated Kenya in their Pool C match in the Olympics. Just barely beating Kenya, where they actually had like Kenya. I don't know how you guys know how rugby works, but basically you have to set the ball down to score your points. And essentially the U.S. player ripped away a Kenya last minute try to steal the game. American player ripped it away. got the ball back, and then eventually America worked to get a try to win their game against Kenya. It was a pretty big deal. I thought it was really cool. So shout out to you, USA Rugby. I'll be covering rugby sevens all week at the Olympics, so my schedule is going to be completely fucked. Sleep schedule, everything. So that's going to be really cool. Callum, do you have anybody you want to shout out, or anybody? By the way, I got my second dose on Thursday, so shout out to all frontline health workers like Callum.
Let's see, that was my shout out. Shout out that we're almost done, boys.
We're getting closer.
Vaccine clinics are winding down in Vancouver. They're winding down in Sea to Sky. If you haven't got your second dose yet and you're listening, what the fuck are you doing? Go get your second dose.
Go get vaccinated. Go get fucking vaccinated.
Like,
it's
come on. I will personally do it.
Yeah, Callum will do it for you.
Callum will go to your house with a maybe not a Pfizer, but maybe an AstraZeneca, some leftover AstraZeneca. Drive to your house and then poke you while you're sleeping.
Callum Smuggles Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, Rav, no one's supposed to say that. So Johnson Johnson is $5 a pop.
Oh.
Anything else is 200.
I might.
This is just how vaccines work in Ontario.
I might name that the title of the podcast. Callum Smuggles Johnson & Johnson. I might name that.
Did you guys hear that Hollyburn, like country club got shit because they
and the guy that was responsible for that got hired by the Canucks.
What let me see what happened here. The country
club. Hollyburn got in trouble because they were trying to vaccinate their country club members so they could come back first, and then VCH, like Vancouver Coastal Health, found out and like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh.
And then just took all their vaccine. Like, this is not how it works. Not save the rich first.
Yeah,
like that's the most Hollyburn thing to come out of this pandemic.
Yeah, just the rich people. Yeah, rich people.
So shout out to Hollyburn for being assholes.
And again, that guy hired by the Canucks to do something. He might be like responsible for like the team in Abbotsford or something.
For getting the team vaccines, probably.
Yeah, maybe something along those lines.
That guy's hired. That guy's hired to give Podcoles and Pfizer.
Executive, I think it's the executive VP and GM of Rogers Arena. Is this what I'm looking at?
Probably, yeah. That sounds about right.
So
real asshole.
Yeah.
Anything else before we head out here with
shout out Mark Stahl.
Shout out Mo. He's a defenseman.
During his prime, that guy was a top 4 stud. That guy's good. He can be a guy that can teach these youngins like cider.
Yeah,
and maybe
exactly.
Edmonton too.
Who else would you want, leading Mo Cider?
Shout out Ken Holland for getting Mike Smith a 2-year contract.
Yeah, multi-year.
Fucking moron. That's the worst, man.
Dude, they had,
how is that guy not fired?
Yo, they're like poor Oilers fans. Like, I mean, they don't.
I don't feel sympathy for them. They know.
Yeah, that's what I have to say. Poor Oilers fans. They got Chiarelli, and then they got him. Ken Holland. Yeah, it's Ken Holland could honestly still be like Hall of Fame level GM. This guy.
Oh, hold up. Ian.
Yes.
Can you make a poll on SYP saying who is the better GM, Holland or Benning?
Oh my god.
Who would you rather have as your GM of your team
now? Ken Holland has done stuff in his career. Benning has not.
Currently, like I know that Ken Holland.
Currently, I might take Benning over Holland.
Yeah. I honestly think I might too.
All right. That's the podcast. We'll post some SYP stories here soon. Thank you very much for listening. We got a loaded week. I got a loaded week with Rugby Sevens content. We have multiple podcasts coming out. We have multiple blogs coming out this week. It's hectic at SYP headquarters. So thank you very much for all your support this past couple of weeks. We'll be back again soon. Peace out.